I'm going to show you how to take body circumference measurements using a tape measure. I'm a huge advocate of taking measurements. I make all my clients do it. I do it myself. If you're working toward a physique goal, whether you are trying to lose fat or put on muscle, so either direction, it's really important to be tracking not just your body weight, which is what most people tend to do exclusively, right? They only track their body weight on the scale and measure changes and use that to determine whether or not they're working towards their goal, which I think is not wrong to do that, but I think it can be very misleading if you don't take into context a multitude of other factors, including body circumference measurements, including progress pictures, including how you look in the mirror, because sometimes progress pictures don't really do justice to how good you're actually looking or how much better you're looking, and the fit of your clothes, as well as comments you get from your coworkers and your friends and your family, because they may notice things that you don't really see in yourself. Because a lot of times what happens is that let's say you're trying to lose fat, you are pretty much studying yourself and breaking yourself down every single day in the mirror, and you're like, well, are my abs coming in? Is my back fat going away? And you're paying such close attention to these things that you don't notice the day-to-day minor changes that over time add up to some pretty drastic body comp changes. But your coworkers or people who maybe don't see you all the time, or at least they're not obsessing over your physique, they may be the ones who are better able to notice when you're making the kind of progress you want to see. On top of that, of course, you have to take into account your dietary adherence. Are you sticking to your nutrition program? Also, as far as your training, are you, one, getting in your training sessions? Two, are you approaching each session with intensity? So are you putting in a lot of effort? And three, are you making progress in the gym? So are you getting stronger? Are you putting more weight in the bar? Are you getting in more reps? All these things matter, okay? But I thought I'd create a video to show you how to take body circumference measurements, because I know for some of you this may seem super basic, but I think it is a fundamental skill that everyone should have. So first things first, with body circumference measurements, you want to take it under consistent conditions, reliable conditions. So it wouldn't make sense for me to whip this guy out at the end of the day, right before bed, after a full day's worth of meals and fluids and activity, because guess what? After a huge dinner, my gut may be sticking out 2 or 3 extra inches, right? And then I'm gonna sit there thinking, oh my God, I put 3 inches on my waist in 10 days, when in reality I just had a big salad or a big meal, right? And so you wanna be as consistent as possible, which means that my recommendation is to take your measurements first thing in the morning on an empty stomach after you've gone to the bathroom, preferably in minimal clothing. If you want to take your measurements butt naked, you can do that in the privacy of your own home. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to show you, I'm just wearing a sports bra here and some booty shorts. These are from Lululemon. I got these a few years ago and they hold up really well. So I take, with myself and with my clients, I take 5 points of measurements. You can take more, you can take less. I would recommend at the bare minimum, take at least your waist measurement. So I have here a flexible tape measure, and this one is, I believe it's a Mayo tape measure, and I'll put the link below. I got it off of bodybuilding.com, and it came as a bonus gift with one of my larger orders. I believe you can also get it off of Amazon. I'm a huge Amazon fan. Amazon Prime all the way. But anyway, I love this guy because first of all, it's flexible, which is what you want to work with. So even if you don't have this one, just get any flexible measuring tape. It's got centimeters on one side and inches on the other side. I'm going to measure in inches for today because that's what makes sense to me, because we're in the United States, and I guess we're the only ones who use that system. Anyway, so I like this because it's got a little button over here. So once you, for example, I'm gonna put the end through the loop, and it really just brings everything in and tightens it. And I like this because then if I'm not tempted to, you know, once I wrap things around my waist, I'm not tempted to pull things tighter just to get a smaller number. And I can't cheat that way, okay? So first thing, I'm gonna take my waist measurement. So again, this is the one measurement that I always want you to take no matter what. If you're gonna take the one measurement, it's gonna be your waist. So I like to find the narrowest point in my waist. And if you're looking, if you're standing in front of a mirror, it should be pretty clear, because for me, I go right around here is where my waist goes in. So that will be the narrowest part for me. If it's a little more unclear for yourself, just go right around your belly button and try to draw maybe a horizontal line. I like that because it's a very clear, consistent, I mean, your belly button's not gonna move up and down from week to week, right? So just use that. So I'm gonna wrap this around. I'm gonna press this little guy. And I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna let it hang loose. So make sure it's straight. And then you're gonna record that number. That's right here. Okay, so that's the waist. Next, I like to do my hip measurement, which is the largest point around your booty. Okay, so wrap your measuring tape around your butt, find the biggest part, and you might have to move your measuring tape up or down a little bit, and that's completely fine. Stand, relaxed position, feet around shoulder width apart. Again, consistent conditions. Pull this guy in, and right there you have your hip measurement or your butt measurement, right? Next one I like to do is a thigh measurement. Same thing here, medius part of your thigh, so the largest part. I like to do my left simply because I am right-handed and it's just easier to reach down this way. Also, when we get into the arm measurement next, again, right-handed to left arm just it'll make things a little bit simpler, okay? But you can do either side. You can do both sides if you want to. So here, medius part of your thigh, find that point, find your measurement, right there. You're relaxed. You're not flexing unless your coach wants you to take flex measurements, okay? Next one is your chest measurement, which I like to go right across the middle of the chest. So, those of you with a larger chest, go straight across that biggest point. Same deal. Bring that sucker in, measuring tape right across the middle, right there. And of course, I recommend writing down your measurements as you take them, one point at a time, so that you don't forget. I'm not doing it just for the purposes of this video. And then lastly is my arm. So again, left side for me because I'm right-handed and it's easier that way. I'm gonna have my arm out. Find what you think is the meatiest part of your arm. For some of you, like myself, I don't have too much meat on my arm, so it might not be as obvious, but I like to go a little bit closer to my shoulder, and from there, bring your measuring tape in, and then whatever number is showing out there, that tick, that's your measurement, okay? So, I recommend taking body circumference measurements, bare minimum. I like to take them every 2 weeks, and because that's when I normally do my full check-in with progress pictures in the same outfit, under the same lighting, same time of day, same body conditions. So every 2 weeks, I also take my body weight, track my body weight, track my measurements, and try to be as objective as possible in my assessment of how I think I'm progressing with my fat loss goals or my hypertrophy goals. I encourage you to really be as objective as possible. We had a podcast episode not long ago with my friend Coach Steve-O Ledbetter, based in the San Francisco area. He's a sports psychologist, and he said, it was so smart, and he was actually referring to body weight, but I think it can be applied to taking body circumference measurements as well. He said, I want you to track your body weight or track your body circumference measurements with the same amount of emotion that you would use to count the number of white cars in a parking lot. Which is to say, no emotion at all, right? And I know, obviously, you're not going to get there overnight, and it's going to take practice to get to that point where you can get on the scale, see a number, and not freak out, or not have it make or break your day. But that's ultimately the goal, right? How many white cars are there in the parking lot? Oh, that's easy. You're not going to break down crying when I ask you that question, right? And you're not going to be super elated either. So I think that just being super neutral, taking the emotion out of the equation, is the best way to do this. All right, so this is how I take body circumference measurements. Again, this is a myotape measure, flexible, off of bodybuilding.com or off of Amazon. I really like this guy. Honestly, I think I've had this guy for about 4 years and it's holding up just fine. It only costs a few bucks, all right? So that's how you do it.